Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Body Snatchers by Jack Finney. This was also called Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and indeed the films of it, which there are at least two, there might be more, are called Invasion of the Body Snatchers as well. And this is a classic 1950s horror novel set in small town America about some very unpleasant things that are found in the town's basements, and this creates an air of paranoia and weird unease amongst the town, and it's a really fun book I found, and a very quick read as well. So, onto the plot. The book starts off with Miles Burnell, the town's doctor, getting a visit in his doctor's surgery by Becky Driscoll. There's nothing wrong with her herself, it's on behalf of her cousin Wilma. Wilma believes that her uncle Ivor is not actually her uncle Ivor. She doesn't know why she thinks this at all, but there's just something off about Uncle Ivor apparently, and she's very, very scared and very nervous. So Becky's turned up asking on her behalf. So the doctor, Miles, being the good small town doctor that he is, goes with Becky to see Uncle Ivor, and indeed the aunt, and they have a look. He can't see anything particularly wrong himself, he's in perfectly okay health. He's not acting really, really weird outright, but there is a certain something though, apparently according to cousin Wilma. And so you go back to surgery, and nothing much happens then as such with regards to this odd occurrence. They just think it's just some odd one-off illness, or could be probably psychological, not sure. However, that isn't the last they hear of this weird occurrence of people thinking that somebody they've known all their lives are not actually the people that they think they know, but they're not sure why and they can't put into words. This starts happening in other places in the town, and it starts getting rather peculiar. Miles goes to see his psychologist friend, and things start spiralling out from there, where people aren't able to trust that you are the person that you say you are for some weird unknown reason. Something very unpleasant that no human has ever seen is found in a basement as well, and this really starts to spiral outwards and starts causing a very weird psychological effect on the main characters. I'm not going to say any more about the plot because I will give things away if I say anything more, so that's pretty much it as far as plot goes. So the main character of Miles Burnell is an interesting character, if one that's quite predictable in a lot of ways. He's very logical and is meant to be quite intelligent, obviously being the small town doctor, especially in the 50s. But he's really predictable. He doesn't do anything that you don't expect a long way ahead. And in some ways it makes him a bit, I suppose you could say, annoying. But it's only a very slight thing with him. Overall though, he's a good character. Now the female lead character, Becky Driscoll, you start off thinking that she's going to be a strong, or at least moderately strong, female lead who can actually talk to Miles and the other characters and sort of hold her own and become a proper independent character. Yeah, this isn't so good. She very quickly becomes more of just a support character for Miles. Miles and Becky were school sweethearts years ago, and in some ways she's kind of what it ends up reverting to again, where she's the person that Miles has to save and protect, and indeed she's his inspiration for all the events that then go on. Which is a bit cliche and it is sexist. You can't help but think that. But if you think about the time zone though, and this is set, which is 1950s America, it really isn't anything unusual or unexpected. As far as the world goes, Mill Valley is a very stereotypical 1950s small town America. Everybody knows everybody else, and that fact alone plays into the sense of paranoia and unease that builds from the very start to the very end. Because quite simply, it's that sense of unease that makes the characters not know who exactly it is that they are talking to, because people aren't what they seem, apparently, but they can't tell, and there's no way for them to say for sure why they think that their friend or their relative is not the person that they think they are. It's just a weird feeling, and this is obviously a fear that is common amongst people, that people are acting weird for no apparent reason, so are they themselves? Now that is also a metaphor for various real world events as well. For instance, at the time, it was the rise of communism in various countries, which obviously is very appropriate because obviously communism at the time was thought of as this evil thing, and you could be a communist and live next door in the middle of America, so you might be not what you seem. Also then there is the Cold War, happens several years later, and obviously this is to do with spies and sleeper agents and the sort of thing that you see in films, quite frankly. And then the modern form of this is of course the war on terror, what with terrorists possibly living in your neighbourhood and the sort of fear that horrible attacks are going to go on at some point. The book, and indeed the message of it, the sense of unease, is still actually very relevant, and I actually found it to be a really interesting book. However, there is one area which let the book down, and it's why I only gave it 4 out of 5 stars on GoodReads, not 5, and that is the pacing and the general flow of the book. At times the book is going along quite nicely, and then it will suddenly stop dead, and it's a bit odd because you're not affecting it whatsoever, especially when it happens and it's a slightly more action scene, and then there's nothing, and then there's suddenly conversation or something, and it seems a bit odd and a bit jerky at times, but it's only a slight thing, and the book is strong enough that it can bypass that odd rhythm problem that it's got. So in summary, this is a really good book that I really enjoyed. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on GoodReads. If you want to read a book about a weird paranoia and sense of unease running through a town with some other psychological elements thrown into it as well, then I'd recommend this. It's also good if you want to see the cultural references and especially the film effects it's had in our world today, because of course the Body Snatchers is a well-known idea and it's spawned several ideas from this, so I think it's actually well worth reading, if nothing else, frankly. And with that said, that's it for this review. My social media links along with my book depository affiliate link will be in the description below. As always, if you've read this, then please tell me in the comments below what you think, or if you'd like to read it, then let me know as well. Or indeed just want to say anything else to me, or any kind of questions in general, or pretty much whatever, then please feel free. And that's it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.